Hello, I'm here with Jacob Bloemberg. I know many of you watching the video know Jacob and the work that God has been doing through Hanoi International Fellowship and Love Your City over the years. But I wanted to give you an update. We're actually here together in Midland, Texas, of all places.
Right, yeah.
It's fun. We meet all kinds of places, don't we?
Japan, Bangkok, Dubai, where else?
I've preached in your church in Hanoi.
Hanoi.
It's been a great time, and it's been great to have you as a friend. And I'm excited about what God's doing through you. But for those people who don't know what you've been up to, could you just give a quick recount of what God's doing in Hanoi and through Love Your City?
Yeah, I really appreciate being able to connect with your church again this way. Earlier we announced that HIF was going to relocate to a new facility in the smack middle of a brand new international development where the government will build the National Government Center, and behind the building will be 14 new embassies. And so we're right in the middle of what will be the new international hub for Hanoi. And we found an empty space that we now have contracted to rent on the ground floor and second floor of a residential building where there's already many skyscrapers that have been built between 30 to 50 stories high, which in Norway, I don't know, do you have any of those?
Nothing that big.
Yeah, we have a ton of those now. So there's thousands of people already living in that neighborhood that would fit our target demographic.
Well, when I was there last year preaching, you had just under 400 people between two services. Now you've got over 500 people, which is more than you have seating for. I mean, so it's quite exciting to move into a location that's larger, not to mention even more central.
Yeah, so we are not only doubling our capacity to 500 seats and having multiple multi-purpose rooms on the second floor that can be used for outreach and for training, for other ministries to use it, for churches to rent those spaces, for our different ethnic fellowships in our church to use throughout the week. So lots of opportunity there. So it's not just doubling the seating, it's really multiplying the impact that we have among the expatriate population as well as the local population, that local community, which is why I'm so excited to be at the ground floor level where people can just walk by,
see on the street,
and walk in. We'll have a big TV by the front door, which is all glass, so they can see all the different programs that we will be offering for them to improve their lives and help them with their daily problems with family, with work, with personal development. And then also with Alpha, and Celebrate Recovery or learning English. So all kinds of opportunities open up once we are there with the street access.
One thing that excites me so much about this project is over the years, Hanoi International Fellowship has served the least of these. They've helped with picking up litter, literally tons of litter. You guys have helped street kids. You guys have been involved in all sorts of different ministries, education. And through doing that, God has opened up doors. You've gone from the least of these to the highest in society. You've had audiences with the mayor. There's been all kinds of neat things. Out of this, Franklin Graham came in 2017, and over 4,000 Vietnamese gave their lives to Christ. Last year, you had your annual Christmas concert, which is sanctioned by the government. They encourage this. And you had 8,000 came, and how many made decisions for Christ?
Yeah, 400 or 500, hard to count.
And now 2 weeks ago, didn't they ask you to double the capacity for this Christmas?
Yeah, we always visit the government several times a year, different government offices. So in August is the anniversary of the founding of the security police of the communist government. So we go and visit and congratulate them on their birthday, so to speak. And so just along the side, the colonel overseeing the religious affairs of the police said, "Oh, why don't you double your registration this year to 10,000?" Meaning more can come.
Right, because last year you had 5,000 registered, but you got 8,000.
Right.
So doubling to 10, you'll get...
Yeah.
And if 5-10% give their lives to Christ, it's just incredible. It's really exciting what you're doing. And because they've been able to have an impact at these higher levels of society, they've got great favor from the government to do all sorts of things and give covering to other churches, other organizations. One of the neat things is it's not just a church you're building, you're actually building a community center. So explain, how is that going to be used by even other governments?
So yeah, it's really been my heart and that every church should be a center for the community, providing services that help everyone with real felt needs. You know, not just poverty alleviation, but everybody is poor in one sense or another, relationally poor, and not just materially poor. So we're also going to provide mental health, first aid training to other organizations, but other NGOs, nonprofits, companies can use that space, government institutions if they want to.
The embassies are right there next door. A bunch of the embassies, right? They can rent out.
We have no idea. We'll be having that space that, you know, there's very little space that others can use for functions, especially in that area. So we're kind of first on market there, not only as a church, but also as a community center.
Which also provides additional revenue to help make this all sustainable, which is exciting.
That's right. Yeah. Right now we already have other churches renting our space, but we're on the 17th floor in the office building, so
and
it's
not in
not
the
really
middle
accessible.
Of town.
And not so this opens up all kinds of opportunities for having non-church people come to our facility.
Well, now speaking of revenue, this is a big project. How much money are you trying to raise right now?
Currently, our budget is for 1.3 million US dollars.
That's US dollars, not Vietnamese dong?
No.
I wish. I'd give it to you now.
Vietnam dong would be easy. Right.
So how's the fundraising going?
Yeah, praise God, over this past summer, just during the summer, we have raised over $200,000, and 85% has come from our congregation and from former church members who now live in other countries. So that's really remarkable that, you know, it's not a great and it's not a wealthy congregation. We have a lot of Filipino teachers, Vietnamese students, nonprofit workers, missionaries who are in our church. So it's not like we have business owners, because business owners usually go to Ho Chi Minh City to do business. In Hanoi, that's not our constituency. So it's great that we could give it a start with such a ownership by our congregation.
But that still leaves over $1 million to raise still. And you're hoping to open in January or February, right? So.
Yeah, before the Lunar New Year in February.
Now, praise God, on this visit, we've just had a call with a foundation that's interested in making a 6-figure donation. So we'll pursue that through MICN. That's really exciting. So God's opening up doors, but we can still pray for this. This is something to pray for, is the financing. How else can people be praying for you and this cause?
Yeah, I'm thankful that we have church members who are experts in architecture and in property development, so they are really helping us out in this project. But it's still a real challenge as a pastor to give leadership and as church staff to kind of manage this kind of building project. So do pray for wisdom and guidance as we make decisions so that all this can be completed within time and within budget. Also, there's ongoing favor with government. We are so grateful that the police gave permission. That was actually the easiest thing. The easiest thing was to get the government permission. And the hardest thing is actually getting this project moving forward with all the design and fundraising issues.
But 20 years ago, you would never dreamed that government permission was the easiest. I mean,
right. Yeah.
God has done amazing works, and He's still going to work this out.
Yeah.
We just have to see how.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time to give an update. Please be praying for Jacob, for the leadership at HIF, for the others that we're in talks with through both MICN and through other networks about engaging and donating. We really believe that God is softening the hearts of the Vietnamese. We are seeing God work in wonderful ways, and I think God is using this work that Jacob has been leading more effectively than anything else that I know of to reach the Vietnamese for Christ. So we really do covet your prayers as we look forward to what we're going to celebrate God doing in the months to come.
Yeah, and when you come for the opening, don't come by yourself. Bring some of your church members along.
We'd love to do that.
Yeah.
Thanks and God bless.